It's not often a film lodges itself under your skin quite like A Deadly American Marriage. This isn't a movie you casually watch with one eye on your phone. It demands your attention, pulling you into its tightly wound narrative with a quiet, unnerving precision. Released on Netflix just last week, it's already stirring conversations, and for good reason. It's a film that explores the terrifying fragility of trust and the unnerving idea that the person sleeping beside you might be a stranger, or worse, a threat. The story centers on Amelia and Ben, a couple who, on the surface, embody the quintessential American dream. They live in a beautifully restored Victorian home in a seemingly peaceful New England town, both successful in their respective careers. She's a talented ceramicist, he's an architect. Their life appears curated, almost too perfect, filled with dinner parties, artisanal coffee, and whispered sweet nothings. But from the opening frames, let's imagine a director, perhaps a new talent, Sarah Chun, masterfully instills a sense of unease. The camera lingers a little too long on a clenched fist, a shadowed doorway, a fleeting expression of doubt that flickers across Amelia's face. The catalyst for the story's descent into darkness is deceptively simple, a chance encounter. Ben runs into an old college acquaintance, a man named Julian, whose reappearance is like a stone dropped into the placid waters of their marriage. Julian is charming, almost excessively so, but there's an undercurrent to him, a sense of something unsettled. Slowly, subtly, his presence begins to dredge up aspects of Ben's past that Amelia knew nothing about, inconsistencies in stories Ben had told, and an old, unresolved incident that casts a long, dark shadow. What A Deadly American Marriage does so effectively is portray the insidious creep of suspicion. We experience the unraveling primarily through Amelia's perspective. The actress playing Amelia, let's call her Clara Rains, delivers a truly compelling performance. Her transformation from a secure, loving wife to a woman consumed by doubt and fear is both heartbreaking and utterly believable. Every subtle shift in Ben's demeanor, every hushed phone call or unexplained absence, becomes magnified, twisted by her growing anxiety. You feel her isolation, her desperate attempts to rationalize the increasingly disturbing puzzle pieces that don't quite fit. Ben, portrayed by, let's say, Marcus Thorne, is equally fascinating. Is he a man unfairly accused, caught in a web of unfortunate coincidences and another's malice? Or is there a carefully constructed facade crumbling to reveal something more sinister? Thorne plays this ambiguity to perfection. There are moments you're convinced of his innocence, his frustration and hurt palpable. Then, a carefully chosen word, a defensive reaction, or a glimpse of something cold in his eyes sends shivers down your spine, making you question everything. The film rarely offers easy answers, forcing the audience to constantly reevaluate who to trust. The narrative isn't reliant on cheap jump scares or overt violence, at least not initially. Its power lies in its psychological tension, the slow burn of watching a relationship disintegrate under the weight of secrets and lies. The dialogue is sharp and realistic, capturing the way couples communicate and miscommunicate, especially under duress. Arguments flare up, not always with explosive shouting, but often with the biting precision of words designed to wound, or the heavy silence of things left unsaid. Visually, the film is stunning in a very understated way. The cinematography uses a muted color palette, reflecting the dampening of joy and warmth in Amelia and Ben's life. Their beautiful home, once a symbol of their shared life and aspirations, gradually transforms into a gilded cage, its elegant rooms feeling increasingly claustrophobic and oppressive as Amelia's paranoia mounts. The director makes excellent use of shadows and reflections, often hinting at hidden truths or the duality of characters. The score, too, is a critical element, a subtle, almost subliminal thrum of anxiety that underscores the emotional turmoil on screen without ever becoming overbearing. Of course, a story like this hinges on its mystery, and A Deadly American Marriage keeps you guessing. There are twists, certainly, but they feel earned rather than gratuitous, deepening the intrigue rather than simply shocking for effect. It explores themes of identity. How well can we ever truly know another person? And the terrifying ease with which a carefully constructed life can be dismantled. It also subtly comments on the performance of marriage itself, the curated image many couples present to the world versus the often more complicated reality behind closed doors. If there's any minor critique, it's perhaps that a secondary plot involving a local town mystery feels a little less developed than the central marital drama. While it serves to heighten the overall atmosphere of suspicion and connect to the main narrative, it occasionally diverts focus at moments when you're desperate to stay locked into Amelia and Ben's increasingly fraught dynamic. However, this is a small point in what is otherwise an incredibly well-crafted piece of storytelling. By the time the credits roll, you're left with a lingering sense of disquiet, mulling over the choices the characters made and the secrets they kept. A Deadly American Marriage isn't a film that provides neat resolutions or easy moral lessons. Instead, it offers a chilling, thought-provoking examination of the dark undercurrents that can lurk beneath even the most placid surfaces of domestic life. It's a sophisticated thriller for a mature audience, one that understands that the most terrifying monsters are often the ones we invite into our homes and into our hearts. It's a compelling, unnerving watch, and one that will likely stay with you long after you've turned off your screen. If you appreciate a slow-burn psychological drama that prioritizes character and atmosphere over sensationalism, this is certainly one to add to your Netflix queue. Just be prepared to look at your own relationships with a slightly more analytical eye afterwards.